How do you keep all these millionaires motivated to stay on the farm? After all, who needs to work when you have more than enough dough to just play? Internet millionaire Gurbaksh Chahal knows very well. He made his fortune selling his company Blue Lithium to Yahoo for $300 million. That's just part of the fortune he's raised over the years. Talk about good timing. He's now the founder and CEO of advertising company Radium One. So G, as you like to go by, and I'm grateful you do you get a sense that a lot of these newly minted millionaires and billionaires are going to bolt?
Actually, I think there's two types of people that you probably see in a company like this. You have the type of people that just like to build and don't like to operate, and they'll probably leave. But I think that there's also a different type of people that actually will probably want to go ahead and say, you know, wow, Facebook is an amazing company. I can actually probably change the world in some capacity in the way that people communicate. And I actually want to make a difference, and I'm going to stick around.
Yeah, but they've been there for they've been there for 7, 8 years, presumably doing just what you say. So now they've made their difference, and now they've made their money. You encountered this, I'm sure. I mean, what would keep you chained to that desk?
Sure, I think that I saw it differently. I mean, when I started Radium One, there were so many people that actually became millionaires from Blue Lithium that I probably never would hire again, just because they lost that drive, that emotion, that DNA that an entrepreneur needs to do in a startup and crazy environment. And I ended up just hiring the people that actually were the crazy ones, that actually wanted to go ahead and create value, that actually wanted to create discipline and do that over again. And it's hard to find those kind of people.
How many would you say are like that, though, Jay? I mean, I subscribe to the view that most people who want to work, no matter how much money they're getting for it, want to work. But there's another group that works for that time. They either hit a number, an amount that they like, and they're quite happy to stop working. I think they're the majority. I think they're the majority.
I think you're right, but I think that in Silicon Valley, maybe we're just crazy. But there's actually a very big part of the world here that just believes in saying, hey, I'm going to make a great impact. So if I'm part of something that's going to make a great impact, I've made the money, let me stick around and see what else I can do. I think Google's a great example. I mean, look at some of those executives that have stuck around there since the IPO.
Executives, though, G. I think there's an executive. Now, I took a look at these aerial shots this morning we're showing as the stock was opening up on the street. And if we could go back to those aerials, I mean, there are a lot of these guys talking to each other. And I guarantee you, G, I don't know, you're closer to this crowd than I am. They're comparing notes on what type oceanfront homes they're going to buy, or where they're going to get a vacation home, or maybe very fancy cars to buy. Not all. But I think when you realize you've just fallen into that amount of money, your whole perspective changes, doesn't it?
Sure, but I think as those employees, I mean, I'm sure Mark is probably feeling that a little bit, are probably not the ones that he needs to go ahead and be a public company. And natural Darwinism, natural attrition is going to happen. And that's actually a good thing. I mean, Google went through that, and now Facebook will go through that. But that doesn't mean that there's not talent there that's going to make it and continue to make a difference. And that doesn't mean that there's going to be other people that they'll be able to hire to make that difference. So I think people focus too much on the money, and they realize, oh my God, there's these people that are going to be so rich they're going to stop working one day. If that was the case, Silicon Valley wouldn't be as great as it is today, because we continue to go ahead and make, innovate, and build great companies because we want to.
But do you ask, when you interview people for your companies, what tips you off that you're talking to a shallow SOB who's just in it for the money?
Well, you know what? I've done this enough for the last 13, 14 years, so for me, I can smoke that in 5 minutes. And frankly, if somebody's just motivated by money, I'm not going to hire them, because that's not the type of person that I'm going to go ahead and go through my bad days with, because there's going to be a lot more bad days than good days.
I bet I could fake you. I bet I could say I subscribe to everything you're saying.
You know what? I've done this long enough where I could probably smoke you out.
Really? We'll just see about that, Mr. Schmutty Pants. All right, G, always a pleasure. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you. Thank you for having me on the show.
Well, maybe we're missing something bigger